What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about De'Aaron Fox. And as you see in the title, we're going to be talking about why I think, and a lot of ESPN experts, why they think De'Aaron Fox chose to leave the Kings and why he requested a trade. So, just buckle up, man. Like the video, do all that stuff. It helps me a lot before we get into all of this. We're trying to grow the channel every single day. We're trying to, get monetized. We're trying to start, grinding on this stuff. So, yeah, make sure you guys like the video, do all that stuff, and let's get into it. And this video is going to go a little bit of a different route. Normally, we have a bunch of tweets on the screen that I collect and talk about those. But this time, I'm going to go directly from an ESPN source by Michael C. Wright, and I'm basically going to read the whole article, and I'm going to summarize it for you guys and basically talk about the important stuff. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this type of video after you finish watching it. And yeah, let's get into it now officially. And this article was wrote right before the Friday night game between the Spurs and the Kings. Obviously, we see the game now, what happened, but it kind of starts off with De'Aaron Fox saying, "I truly wanted to play for one team my whole career," which is very interesting because, I believe him. He was a huge Kings guy. He loves it there, and something just switched crazy. And we'll get into that later, but he also said how I loved it when talking about Sacramento. He said everybody bled purple. It always felt great just going to the grocery store, going out to a restaurant. Everybody there was extremely kind. And when we started winning, then it was light the beam everywhere. You really felt it around the city. So it definitely was a great place to be for as long as I was. And this is De'Aaron Fox basically complimenting everything that the Kings have done for him, everything that the city has done for him. And, it didn't seem like at the time he really wanted to go anywhere. And then the article also finishes saying, then almost suddenly it wasn't a great place for him. So let's get into that now. So this next part is very long, but it kind of basically starts off by saying Sacramento had a rough start to the season and they ended up firing their coach, Mike Brown. And like the second paragraph says, Fox, who was set in 2025 to 2026 to enter the final year of his 5-year contract, had warned the organization this summer that he was tired of all the turnover at the head coach position and declined to sign an extension during the offseason. And then when the Kings fired Brown, Fox felt that his time in Sacramento had come to an end also. So this is basically the big, climax of this article, saying the main reason why De'Aaron Fox was feeling mad about the Kings and wanted to get out of there quickly is because of Mike Brown. He really loved him, and he was sick of moving on from all these head coaches. And the full quote from De'Aaron went, "I was like, yo, I've been here for going on my 8th year. If Mike gets fired, I'll be going into my 5th coach. And I told them I'm not going to play for another coach. I'm going to play for another team." And this is basically De'Aaron Fox putting his foot down. He was sick of it. As most of us know that last season the Kings bounced out of the play-in last year as the 9th seed. And still, after that, Fox really wanted Sacramento to sign the coach Brown to a contract extension. And they did. Obviously, they did. And then they ended up firing him this year, which basically was the final straw for Fox. So I guess in Fox's mind, them firing Brown was kind of like okay, you're firing him, I'm out too. This is it for me. And the article also notes that since the Kings drafted Fox in 2017, Fox have played under David Jorger. I don't know how to say all these guys' names, but Luke Walton, Alvin Gentry, and Brown. So basically, Fox has played all these teams, and now he's playing for a new coach, or he played for a new coach for a short amount of time, and he was just done with it, right? Like I just said multiple times, he was just done with it. And then specifically going back to the game where Brown got fired, or the game before Brown got fired, basically it started with De'Aaron Fox fouling Jaden Ivey on a 4-point play, which basically lost them the game when they had a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter. However, after the game, Brown kind of criticized Fox a little bit and put the blame on him. And then Fox later came out that Fox didn't really care about that, but the media didn't portray it like that. So Brown's last act as a head coach was him criticizing Fox. So, coincidence, he got fired the game after that. It looked bad on Fox, basically making it seem like Fox was the one who wanted to fire him. However, the article says different, as in another interview of Fox, he basically says, or this is what he says, "You fire the coach and you don't do an interview," Fox said. And basically, to put some context, they fired him. They didn't give him an interview to kind of explain himself there and like what happened. So then Fox also repeats by saying, "So all the blame was on me. Did it weigh on me? No. Did I give a F? But the fact y'all are supposed to be protecting your player and y'all let this happen, I felt at the time the organization didn't have my back." So this is also another reason. There's a bunch of stuff building up onto each other. So basically, Brown got fired. There wasn't an interview after the firing. So, it kind of looked like Fox was the reason he got fired. However, it wasn't the case at all, because Fox actually, it came out that Fox said he talks to him a lot every single day. So they had a good relationship. But the media portrayed it to look like Fox wanted to fire him. So the Kings not doing anything in that realm basically made Fox feel like they were betraying him or they didn't have his back, which honestly is understandable because, you fired his best friend or one of his best friends as his coach, and you basically don't have his back. They don't give him an interview, so, he gets painted bad in the media. So then after the article says, Fox did not talk or speak to the organization about Brown's firing, he said, because he had already expressed his opinion over the summer. And this opinion, obviously, we saw before, is that if they move on to a new coach, he's going to be done with the team. And basically, nothing has changed from that summer, and Fox figured he would play out the rest of his contract and sign elsewhere once the time came. And then if you want to read the quote, it's just under that paragraph, so you guys can read that really quick if you want, pause the video. But that's basically just De'Aaron Fox putting it in his own words, expressing his frustration with the organization because he was basically fed up with it. He's like, I told you on the summer, I warned y'all did it. So, you're going to have to pay the consequences. That's basically what he was saying. And that's when trade talks started to happen around, De'Aaron Fox. The Kings approached Fox agent. They kind of talked about it. Fox already knew this was all going to happen. Fox knew that the Kings were going to try to trade him because he kept on declining contract extensions. And, that's kind of when we all got that tweet that De'Aaron Fox was going to be traded soon, or there was going to be, trade talks or trade rumors around De'Aaron Fox. And we know that now, but it's kind of cool seeing the process behind the scenes of what actually happened, right? Because all we just see is a tweet from Shams, right? We just see a tweet from him and we're just like, oh, shocks, mind blown. But this is basically all the tension leading up to De'Aaron Fox being traded, right? And then it came out that Fox really wanted to play with Wembanyama and the Spurs' young core in San Antonio. And then, he basically said he wanted to go there. And here's the real quote. It says, there was no effing list, Fox said. There was one team I wanted to go to, San Antonio. So a lot of people are mad at me saying I handcuffed the team by giving them a destination. Well, this is my career. If anyone else is in my position, you would do the same thing. It's not my job to help build your team. I'm not about to just go where they want to go. I wanted to have a good destination. And this makes sense. Fox is a little bit salty with the Kings. You could tell he was fed up with their organization. He did not care what was going to give them the best package. He wanted to go to the Spurs. He's like, you're going to trade me there now. You just betrayed me by firing my coach. You better do me this, right? So this is very interesting, right? We have a lot to unfold here. So to conclude this video, let's do a little summary. To start it off in the summer, Fox refused to sign a contract extension, and the Kings extended Mike Brown, right? So we had that. Fox really wanted to push for a Mike Brown extension, even though they just lost in the play-in. However, the Kings were willing to do it because that was their star player. But, Fox is not committed to a long-term deal yet because he was still iffy with the Kings coaching situation. And then fast forward to the regular season. The Kings have a bad start. Fox is a bad play. Mike Brown has some comments about Fox, and they fire Mike Brown because the Kings have been playing bad. Then Fox feels betrayed by the media, betrayed by the Kings, not only because they fired his coach, but they fired him without giving an exit interview. So Fox didn't really get to clear his name because, Mike Brown just kind of talks bad about Fox on the game, so it looks like Fox is the reason Mike Brown got fired, even though it didn't happen. So Fox felt betrayed in that sense, right? And then, after that, Fox is done with the Kings. He was fed up. He was like, I let you guys know in the offseason, if you were to move on from a new coach, I would be out. I would want to request a trade. And then, he requests a trade, and he says, there's one option you're going to trade me to. You don't have any say in this. I have all the say. You're going to trade me to San Antonio. So then, the Kings kind of respected that. They traded him to San Antonio. The Kings got Zach LaVine. The Spurs got De'Aaron Fox. Bulls got whatever. And that's basically it. So, that's basically the whole rundown of what happened with De'Aaron Fox, all the drama behind it all. Make sure you guys check out the article. I had the title in the beginning of the video. I'll put it up again right here. So yeah, like the video now, comment your thoughts on this. This is a lot of stuff. So, let me know if you guys want me to do more videos like this, interpreting articles. And, that's it, man. Subscribe. I'm out of here.